Welcome back to another Bulldog Bark episode. I'm Connor.
And I'm Jaynaria. On today's episode, we'll be looking at
a look at our Dr. Phil field trip,
a special interview with Luke Worthington,
a man on the street with Alex over our senior assassins,
a look at students with a leap year birthday,
an interview with Teacher of the Year, Miss Rouse,
and a look at our speech and debate team.
That's all right here,
right now,
on the Bark.
Have you ever watched Dr. Phil?
Yeah, I actually got to watch him in person with the AV and yearbook students.
Let's check it out.
Recently, our Roy City Bulldogs got the amazing opportunity to be guest on the Dr. Phil show. For an inside scoop of what the trip was like, I interviewed 2 Roy City High School students who attended this field trip.
Yeah, it taught us the background or what goes on behind cameras and what roles there are that have to be done. Like, for example, there was a guy that would get paid to just roll the cable up to make sure it didn't get tangled. The audience, there's people dealing with the cameras. So just for the AV part aside of the show.
Michael and Litzy had a lot to say about what our AV department could do to apply what they saw on the trip.
Audio. In my opinion, I don't think it's too hard to work on the audio, but don't know who's the one that does this in AV. Enthusiasm. They gotta be more hype. Woohoo! See, this is an interview, and I'm over here acting like it's a whole freaking
Netflix documentary.
Yeah. But I feel like that's how they should have their mindset.
Definitely for little interviews and projects like this, energy, attitude. If you're gonna go there and you're interview people with a mean, sad attitude, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
But if you have enough energy like this one, then it's people will see it, the project or whatever you make, and it's gonna be fun.
Michael and Litzy sure did have a lot to say about this field trip. Let's hope to more like this in the future.
That was a lot of fun.
Do you know who Luke Worthington is?
The guy from The Voice?
Yeah, let's hear what he has to say.
Welcome back to another RCTV story. I'm here with country singer and songwriter Luke Worthington. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you for having me, brother.
Just to talk about some other questions. Well, how are you doing first of all today? How are you doing?
Doing good, man. It's a pretty day on the ranch, and we just getting to work today. Getting to work today.
I'd like to do that.
Yes, sir.
So for the people watching and who are wanting to know, where do you come from? Where are you from originally?
Yeah, I'm from southeast of Houston, a town called LaPorte, Texas, and we were the Bulldogs too. Wow. So you got a fella Bulldog in the room.
Bulldogs.
Yeah, man.
What made you want to become a musician and sing?
When I was real young, my grandpa, he was a songwriter back in the 70s and stuff like that. And every Christmas he'd pull the guitar out and play, for us. And there wasn't ever anything else that I felt like I understood without question. I've always loved music and country music, and so yeah, that's kind of where it all started. I was 9 years old, hearing Merle Haggard songs that my grandpa would sing, and once I picked it up, I never put it down.
Yeah. Talking about your festivals and performances, which one was your favorite and most proud of moment, or all the festivals and performances you've had?
Yeah, man. Wow, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
We've gotten to do some really cool things over the years, but getting to play that Red Rocks in Colorado was a pretty special thing.
Yeah.
I never thought about getting to play that in Denver, but we got to work that with Laney Wilson, and we're thankful that they gave us that opportunity. But it was pretty special.
And you've had several music videos, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
From your songs.
Yes, sir.
Which one was like your most fun to put together?
You know, I think the one that meant the most to me was the State You Left Me In video. That house was the house that one of my best friends growing up, you know, high school buddy growing up, and his grandpa grew up in that house. It was in Bremont, Texas, and so like on the summers, me and my friend would go with our dads to help, you know, kind of rebuild it, revamp it. You know, it was kind of falling apart, and so we learned how to drink beer, we learned how to drive, we learned how to cuss, we learned how to, you know, do plumbing on a house and put roof on a house and put walls up. You know, when we were in high school, we were kind of, that little house had a lot of memories.
Yeah, all right there.
All in there, you know, and so that song was a song that I wrote, you know, 5-6 years prior to it ever seeing the light of day. And I just wanted it to be something personal, and we got to go back in time a little bit by recording that video. So I would have to say that's my favorite. You know, I can watch that video and it brings a lot of good memories.
Oh, for sure. How did you feel to be able to give him the opportunity to perform on The Voice in front of like Blake Shelton?
Sure, man, it was a really getting to go on The Voice like that. I was 17 years old. I was still in high school. It was my senior year of high school, and you know, at that time, social media and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, all these things weren't as big as they are now, or reliant. You know, these days everybody's on that stuff pretty heavy, and that's kind of what the world's come to. But you know, it was a great opportunity that I just couldn't refuse, and you know, music's always been a dream, and so it was really cool to get to experience that at a young age. But it was also, it brought a lot of new. You know, it was there was a lot of things that I was not necessarily ready for at that age. You know, but we got through it, and you know, it's opened so many doors, and if there's any one of y'all out there wanting to dream about writing songs and singing them, I'm wanting to tell you, you can do it. So, but yeah, man, it's open. That thing, if I would have never done that, I would have never dove off into musicality the way that I did at such a young age, and I'm forever grateful for that opportunity. Getting to play the Grand Ole Opry was a dream that I've had since I was a kid. As so many others have, and it's the home of country music. It's what made it famous, you know, and it takes a long time to get into them more into that world, you know, and to get to walk through them doors and share that experience with my family. It was a dream come true, and I think. You know, I don't think there's ever any one thing that I've done that has necessarily made my career soar, but it dang sure filled my heart, and it has just been one of them experiences that has allowed me to dream another day. You know, and I've met so many of my heroes just based off of that one experience, and. You know, my papa, I told you, he was the reason why I play, and you know, right before he passed, I got the call to go do it, and so it was a really special thing, and I felt, you know, no matter how many records were sold or not sold, I felt like it was a reassurance in my life that I was born to do this, and so. With the greatest honor, we went out there and got her done, you know. So, yeah, and we just hope to get to play it again and again and again.
Over and over again.
Yeah. Hey, anytime they call, I'm you know, I'd be glad to go do it.
All right. Well, those are most of the core questions I have for you. I just wanted to say thank you again for your opportunity.
Hey, thank you, man.
I think you're a really humble guy. I think you're a great artist, a great musician. People love your music. I know that because they listen to your music. And I'm personally a fan. So.
Well, brother, the honor was mine, and that was hey, you done great, brother. That was great.
Wow, his songs are really going viral.
You know what else is going viral? Senior Assassin. Let's see what the competitors have to say.
What are your thoughts on Senior Assassin?
I mean, it's pretty fun. It's cool that everyone's like getting together to, like for one goal, like try to win.
I think it's cool. I think it's really fun and just a good thing for seniors to do near the end of the year.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. You get a lot of enjoyment out of it, especially in your senior year when it's close to the end of the school year. It's just a fun thing for all seniors to get out and to do.
What are your strats to win the game?
Just talking to people, just to see like who knows what, like where they work, what car they drive, and stuff like that. That's like, I guess that's the biggest thing about it.
My strategy was to look at people's houses and jobs online and just wait outside of work for them.
My strategy was just to try and survive, which honestly that didn't go so well. And I try to keep my distance from everyone and try to keep myself anonymous most of the time. But again, that didn't seem to work out too well.
Who's your partner?
I'm not gonna say that out loud.
My partner was Connor Sarver.
My partner was Harrison Carter.
You eliminated or your partner?
I'm eliminated, but I'm gonna come back because my partner, we got my target already, so my partner needs to get his target so I can come back in for the next round. So we're coming back for sure.
How did I get out? I went and got Cinnabons the first day, and I ended up late to my house, and they caught me as soon as I got home.
Emily Forrest eliminated me at Buc-ee's. We had a run. It was a very intense run. It lasted for 10 minutes, and yeah, I lost.
Is there any information you want to disclose about other people in the game?
No, I won't put anyone on blast, but if you're my target, just watch out.
Wow, the students really are leaping at the opportunity to win this prize.
Speaking of leap, let's see what Grayson had to say about her birthday on Leap Year Day.
My name is Grayson Stow. I'm 4 years old. Right. Sometimes, yeah, I wish I would have a regular birthday, but since I do celebrate it every year, it doesn't really affect. I celebrate when I don't have my birthday on the 1st, because technically I wasn't, like, alive. It's hard to tell people, like, to try to explain it to people, but other than that, no, not really. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's not much different from any other birthday. Well, I used to go to this place called Sweet and Sassy, over where, like, Build-A-Bear is and stuff, and they have a stage, and, like, you could dance on it, and I feel like we did that a couple years for my birthday, because it was really memorable.
If you only count as actual birthday, what year would you turn 16?
I would turn 16 in 2074, and I'd be 64 years old.
It's crazy to think that she's technically 4 even though she's 16.
You know what else is interesting?
What?
Miss Rouse is winning Teachers of the Year.
And we're going to look at different things. So we're going to have resting heart rate.
RCHS Teacher of the Year is Miss Angela Rouse, and it is easy to see why.
The way she cares about her students. She just has so much passion about what she teaches. I like how she's super passionate about, like, biology.
It's not just her passion that makes her stand out.
Her humor. She's a good teacher and all, but her humor is where she gets through to me and what makes me better in her class than some of my other classes.
She's like the nicest woman I've ever met. So that's how. She's like, I don't know, she's like almost like a motherly figure, honestly.
Not only is she understanding of her students, she also creates effective and engaging lessons.
She made really interesting labs where, like, in the past, like science classes, like we would never do labs or they were boring. Well, in her class, like, it's really fun and we all get to, like, learn something too.
She's really helped me learn how to take better notes, which will, set me up for the rest of high school, which is always a good skill to have, I'd say.
How many of you got over 120?
I got
Nina sums up what makes her a great teacher.
I think she just she puts so much energy. Like it's just, she captivates us, so it's like hard to look away.
For Miss Rouse, teaching was always part of the family.
So my grandmother was a teacher in a one-room schoolhouse, and at the end of her life, she had Alzheimer's, and she couldn't remember many things, but she remembered the students in that classroom, her very first year teaching. And I just think that impact, that connection, always made me want to be a teacher. When I got into biology, I loved biology the most, and I think teaching is probably the best thing I could have done with my biology degree.
Miss Rouse shares her secret for success as a teacher.
I mean, I think just finding the joy in every day and every lesson, doing things that you enjoy, because that goes through to the students, and it's more memorable to them, and it's really easy to get stuck in the difficulties. But if you can just find joy each class period, each day, then it makes the whole year go through. It's a lot easier that way.
Thank you, Miss Rouse, for being our amazing RCHS Teacher of the Year.
It's great to see what she's done for the students.
I agree.
Now let's take a look into our speech and debate.
As someone who's in debate and also in audio and video, I've realized that nobody has ever made a segment on the debate team. So now it's my turn to change that. Debate 1 all the way to debate 4. How much has changed?
So we had a bit of a different debate experience than anybody else. Obviously, seeing as our freshman year was pandemic year, we have also gone through 3 debate coaches in 4 years. So things have changed quite drastically because their learning styles are just so different. We've also done almost every single event there is. We've changed every single year. Yeah, there's very few events that we haven't done. If it's a partner event, we're partners. We've done most debate events, most speech events, most platform events, most interp events.
You've been in debate for 3 years. How much has changed over those 3 years? A lot. It was just, I've learned a lot more. I think last year I learned the most, though, for sure, because it taught me how much it taught me a lot more about the events I wanted to do. Yeah, no, I'd say I learned a lot last year about just kind of what events interested me, what I wanted to be able to talk to people about, what I wanted to connect with people on, the topics wise. And it's just, I always kind of loved debate and poetry because I grew up around it because my sister did it herself.
My favorite event is Congress. I do that one the most. And congressional debate is we sit through 2 to 3 hour sessions and act as Congress. And in doing that, we read and write speeches off of mock legislature, and we give those.
I have 3 favorite speech events, which is Congress, but since you already told you about it, I guess I'll skip that. Also, I like extemporaneous speech speaking, which you have 30 minutes to prepare a speech and memorize it, and then it should be around 7 minutes long. And I also do informative speaking, which you inform your judge or your audience on a social issue going on currently. And out of all the events, which ones were y'all's favorite? Well, we've done extemp all 4 years. It's the only one we've always done, so probably the top one, at least for me. Yeah, extemp is considered we're both nationally qualified in extemp. I feel like I'm kind of obligated to say extemp's my favorite, but the most fun event that I've done is HI. HI is really fun. Humorous interpretation. You're constantly changing between characters. It's a lighthearted story. Victorious ending. Poetry. Hands down, poetry was my favorite. Because it's just, you get to connect with people in ways that are it's kind of you're not used to, because it's not your own words, but you connect with them on so many levels, you're using other people's words to get across things you've gone through. And it's empowering, honestly, to be able to do that, and get your point across to people. And, how y'all are both nationally qualified, what does that mean to y'all? Glad, because I was so close last year. Yes. It is really exciting. It's really fun, knowing that we've done something 4 years, and through all the change, a word that we've kind of seen our whole
high school lives is resilience, and we're resilient, you know. We've gone through all of it. We stayed in it no matter what. And, you know, finally at the end, we're nationally qualified. So that's cool. You are qualified at national, but the other one is qualified in state. How does being qualified in those things, what's that mean to y'all?
So for me, it's kind of, I'm qualified in state, and it's kind of reflective of the hard work that I put in over the semester and last semester. This semester and last semester. And it's in 2 weeks, so I'm going to need to go experience that. And I feel that I can genuinely get a lot of experience out of that.
I'm qualified for nationals. I'm quite excited for it, and I'm qualified for Congress, which it'll be in the summer, and I'm like really excited to be able to like meet new people around the country and just overall learn and being able to see how I can expand my skill set and much more.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. To watch more episodes, go to youtube.com/RCTV Teen News. This has been Connor
And Jaynaria
for the Bulldog Bark.